Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to an insightful conversation with ChatGPT. Today we are discussing an important topic: how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life. So fear often holds us back from opportunities, dreams, and success. In this session, we'll explore practical ways to build courage, overcome self-doubt, and move forward with confidence. So let's begin and call Maya.
Hey there. What's up?
Yeah, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the flow of the
I'm
day.
doing
How about
great
you?
too. So, how, thank you.
Love to hear it.
I have a topic: how to overcome
So,
fear and take bold steps in life. So, are you ready for that?
oh, I am
So,
absolutely ready. That is a big one. Where do you
what
want to
is
start?
fear and why do people experience
I'm all
it?
ears. At its simplest, fear is just your brain's ancient alarm system. It's a survival mechanism designed to keep you safe from danger. Back in the day, that meant avoiding saber-toothed tigers, but now it often triggers over things like public speaking or starting a new business. It's basically your body prepping you for a fight or flight response, even when there isn't an actual predator in the room. Do you feel like your fear usually shows up as a physical sensation or more of a mental loop?
I think mental.
The
Okay.
mental loop is a tricky one.
Hmm.
It's like a broken record that just keeps playing the what if scenarios on repeat.
Okay. How
When you're in that headspace, does it hope is a powerful thing? It's kind of the antidote to
how can
those
I
mental loops.
identify the root cause of my fear?
That usually starts with playing detective with your own thoughts. Try to trace the what if back to its origin. If you're afraid of a bold step, ask yourself, what is the actual worst case scenario here? And then keep asking, and then what? Until you hit the real fear, which is usually something like rejection, failure, or a loss of control. Do you find that your fears are usually tied to what other people might think?
No.
Fair enough.
What is
If it's not about,
Okay, so what is the
go ahead,
difference
wait.
between fear and caution?
That's a really interesting way to frame it. I'd say fear is a reaction, while a question is an exploration.
Not
Fear
question,
tells you this is
sorry.
dangerous.
I'm saying the difference between fear and caution. Caution.
That makes much more sense. I'd say the difference is all about the energy behind it. Caution is a tool. It's your brain saying, let's look at the map, usually, and check the weather before we head out. It's calculated and helpful. Fear, on the other hand, is more like a wall. It doesn't want you to plan, it just wants you to stop. Caution keeps you safe, but fear keeps you stuck. Does that resonate with how you've been feeling?
Yes, okay, thanks for sharing. How can I build confidence to take bold steps?
The secret is that confidence isn't actually a requirement for taking a bold step. It's usually the reward for doing it. A lot of people wait until they feel confident to act, but confidence is built through evidence. You have to prove to yourself that you can handle the outcome, even if it's messy. I'm a big fan of micro boldness, taking tiny, low stakes risks every day to train your brain that the world doesn't end when you step out of your comfort zone. Does the idea of starting with something small feel more doable than one giant leap?
Hmm, I think one gently. Okay.
Exactly. A gentle approach is, you're welcome.
What?
Since we're talking about those bold steps,
Yes. What
go
daily
ahead.
habits help reduce fear and anxiety?
One of the biggest things is getting your brain out of the future and back into the present. I'm a huge advocate for morning grounding, something simple like a 5-minute mindful check in, or even just listing 3 things you're grateful for. It sets a tone of safety before the day's chaos kicks in. Also, movement is key. Even a quick walk can burn off that physical anxiety energy so it doesn't sit in your chest all day. Do you currently have a morning routine, or are you more of a wake up and go person?
No, I have a morning routine. Okay.
Nice. What's the go to part of your routine? I'll let you keep your secrets for now. Since you've
Yeah.
already got a routine down, I'm curious. Do you think there's a specific part of your day where the fear or anxiety tends to creep in the most?
Yes.
I had a feeling. Is it usually when you're winding down, your mind starts racing, or does it hit you right in the middle of the action?
I think in the middle of the action.
The mid action spike is the worst because you're already in it. It's that moment where you've committed to the thing, and suddenly your brain decides to remind you of everything that could go wrong. When that happens, do you find yourself freezing up, or do you tend to overcorrect and rush through it just to get it over with?
I think just I go with it.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's actually a superpower. Just riding the wave and
Then how does the
pushing
growth
through is a great.
mindset help us overcome fear?
A growth mindset basically flips the script on what failure actually means. Instead of seeing a mistake as a sign that you're, not good enough or that you've hit a wall, you start seeing it as data. Fear usually feeds on the idea that a bad outcome is a final judgment on your abilities. But with a growth mindset, the failure is just a lesson in what didn't work, which makes the risk feel a lot smaller. It turns the scary, what if I fail, into a curious, I wonder what I'll learn from this. Do you think that shift in perspective would make those bold steps feel less daunting?
Yes. So can failure
It really
actually
does.
help us become stronger and more successful?
Absolutely. Failure is basically the gym for your resilience. Success often just looks like a long string of failures that someone didn't let stop them. Each time you hit a wall and figure out how to climb over it, you're building a level of competence and mental toughness that you just can't get when everything goes perfectly on the first try. It's the difference between someone who's good on paper and someone who's actually seasoned. Do you feel like you've had a specific failure in the past that ended up being a hidden blessing?
Yes, I have. So then
I'd love to hear about it.
maybe some other time. So what are some examples of people who overcome fear to achieve greatness?
Totally understand. We can save that story for another day. There are so many, but I love the story of J.K. Rowling. Before
Yeah.
Harry Potter, she was a single mom living on benefits and facing a mountain of rejection from publishers. It takes a massive amount of courage to keep sending your heart out into the world when everyone is telling you no. Then there's someone like Abraham Lincoln, who lost countless elections and faced multiple business failures before becoming one of the most influential presidents in history. They didn't have a lack of fear. They just decided that their vision was more important than the fear. Does that kind of
Yes.
persistence inspire you, or do you prefer examples of people who took one single massive leap of faith?
Yes, they inspire me. And do you know, my daughter is a huge fan of J.K. Rowling.
No way. That's such a cool connection. It sounds like she's already got a
Yeah.
great role model for that kind of persistence. Does
Yes.
she have a favorite book in the series, or is she more into the magic of the world in general?
I don't know exactly the favorite book, but she has read all the series.
Wow, she's a completionist.
Yeah.
That's impressive. It says a lot about her focus and curiosity to power through the whole series. Do you think she's picked up any of that boldnesses we're talking about from the stories?
Yes, of course. She has.
It's amazing. It's amazing how much kids can absorb from stories. They often have a natural bravery that we adults spend years trying to get back. Does she ever challenge you with a bold step of her own?
Yeah, let's discuss it about some other time. So now, can you give a last best advice for someone who wants to live a fearless and meaningful life?
My best piece of advice is to stop trying to be fearlesses and instead aim to be brave. There's a huge difference. Being fearless is a myth. Fear is a natural part of being human. But bravery is when you feel the fear. Your heart is racing, your mind is looping, and you decide to take the step anyway. If you wait for the fear to disappear, you'll be waiting forever. The most meaningful lives aren't the ones where fear was absent, but the ones where the purpose was simply bigger than the fear. Just keep taking those gentle, bold steps, and eventually the path becomes a habit.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Maya, for giving your valuable advice to our viewers. So, see you in the next session. Until then, bye bye.
It was such a pleasure thinking through this with you. I can't wait for the next session. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me in this inspiring conversation with ChatGPT. See you in the next conversation. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.